Today, everything is escalating. Everything is going through the roof. We are setting new records, new all-time highs, and the altcoins are also going to explode. Guys, let's be honest. A large part of you wants to hear exactly that say, and, of course, hopes for it to some extent. Well, I wouldn't be upset about it either. However, I must, unfortunately, tell you at this point that you'll have to switch channels because here it's about facts, here it's about considerably less hype, but rather about what will actually bring you money in the end. And that's why today we are going to take a detailed look at what exactly could effectively happen at the crypto summit today and what is already known up to now. And there's also a trading setup again. And I can already say happy profit. Why? You'll find out after the intro. Now new Uptrend VIP trading, your opportunity to copy the signals from 2Profit for free. They managed to grow an account from $4,000 to $30,000 within 2 months. The results in the group are also impressive. All you need for this is a deposit of $100 into your BingX account. You can find all further information below in the description. Daniel, why on earth happy profit? Now just take a look at this. Bitcoin has dropped over 4%. Ethereum almost 5%. We're down 7% with ADA. So this doesn't look rosy at all. Wait, I posted my trading setup in Uptrend Trading yesterday. So if you're not a member yet, you might want to become one. Feel free to check the description because I have a few possible entries there. Of course, no guarantee, but I posted them here and I just want to say at this point, for example, with Ripple, so we'll get to trading soon, setup, it was almost on point, the best entry you could have taken. So, as I said, happy profit, then everyone exits. Feel free to write in the comments who secured exactly these entries because I can say the trades I'm currently following are still open. And now let's take a look at where one could set a take profit. Before we take a detailed look at the summit, a quick glance at Texas because there are big news regarding Bitcoin reserves. Yes, now you might wonder why doesn't it say crypto reserves? Probably because they are only talking about Bitcoin right now, but maybe more will be discussed today. In any case, the decision has been made and this law has been passed. And now it continues. Now this very law goes to the House of Representatives where the committee must take action in some form by the 24th. Must take some form of action. So, in essence, this means we have already taken a significant step forward. And now we just have to wait and see. So, we have a deadline. Let's be curious about what will happen by the 24th. May will happen like this. And above all, who else will follow suit? But first, a short thank you to you. Many thanks for your support, your assistance, your daily clicks. I'm really happy about it. That's why I do this. So, if you like what I'm doing here and you want to support it a bit, and it's very, very simple. Just leave a free like down here. It doesn't take any time and it helps the channel grow, or rather, this video gets pushed by the algorithm. And if you're completely new here and you're wondering, yes, Daniel, what do you actually do? Here you get the most important crypto news daily, fact-based, without hype, transparent, neutral, plus the trading setup, which, as we saw yesterday, might possibly bring you a few extra dollars. If you're up for it, leave a free subscription and activate the bell so you don't miss any important information. And now let's get started. Rarely has a topic in the crypto space been discussed as heatedly as this crypto summit. Yes, okay, sure, it's also the first of its kind taking place today. And first of all, there was wild discussion about who is actually coming. As of last night, I have pulled out a significant number of articles here. And once, Garlinghouse is listed, the Ripple CEO, and another time, he is not listed. There are countless lists, especially on X, where the wildest predictions were made and numerous lists were shared, supposedly indicating who would participate. In any case, it seems to have been noted that the whole thing is supposed to be more of a roundtable rather than a classic summit. That makes sense. Of course, the more people you invite, the more different opinions you have, and the less. The whole thing will also end constructively. We see it with the federal government, but that's just a side note. In any case, when you look at the whole thing here, it's wild speculation, about who would do what again. What is important to know is that at 1:30 p.m., which means 6:30 p.m. our time, the whole thing will start. So, if it should become volatile, well, yes. There is also consideration now whether there might be some kind of press conference or a public statement afterwards. At this point, there is nothing yet published about whether there should be any public statement. But that in turn means that if it should become volatile, then possibly this evening. Because there is currently a huge amount of hope being stirred up that the great expectations are being fulfilled, whether it's about crypto reserves or the topic in some form. Tax relief, but I will get into the details of these points shortly, whether Trump could even issue them so easily on his own. I have now pulled out another list here. A few names were mentioned here. So if you look here, the Robinhood CEO is included. We have the Kraken CEO. We have Brian Armstrong from Coinbase, the CEO included. Then from Chainlink, the co-founder. One could, of course, speculate again, yes, which cryptocurrencies could particularly benefit now? Sure, everyone immediately shouted Chainlink because it's made in the USA, and everyone is invested in it, and so on. And Ondo could become really big, and so on. Guys, don't rely on that. So, we just saw last week what a Trump post can trigger. First, in a positive way. And how then this whole pump completely ends in a dump. And then the market has to build itself up healthily again. So, as I said, let's bring a bit of calm into it first. Nevertheless, it must be said, World Liberty Financial is, of course, also involved in this case. The co-founder is also included. Trump is also involved himself. The CEO of Bitcoin magazine is involved. So yes, it's already a very, very interesting mix. Although personally, I feel a few people are missing. Now the big topic is yes, but Garlinghouse is not listed there at all. And won't he be involved? So, officially, nothing has been confirmed yet, at least according to this article. I'll show you another one in a moment, which lists completely different people. Right now, nobody really knows, so we just have to wait. However, there was a post from Garlinghouse on social media, which suggests that he might be involved. But as I said, nothing has been officially confirmed as of now. Unless you have other information, feel free to write it down here below. To conclude on this topic, here's a short list. You can see, for example, Garlinghouse is on it. Others who might still be open to joining include Vitalik Buterin or Cathie Wood. It wouldn't be bad if they were involved. Charles Hoskinson. At least I've read that he has officially confirmed he will be participating. He obviously wouldn't miss it, that's clear. There are also well-known figures from the White House joining in. So, all in all, I don't want to sound negative. It looks very interesting. But perhaps Vitalik hasn't said anything yet because he has to rehearse a new rap. Joking aside, maybe some of you have experienced what he did at the last conferences. As I said, it would still be cool if he were involved because with Ethereum, we're all slowly waiting for it to really pump properly. By the way, at this point, if you don't want to miss such, and also more serious comments from me from time to time, feel free to follow me on X. Just look for Uptrend Info. You can search for me there or check the description for the link. Let's move on to the first point that is currently being hotly debated. Yes, the crypto reserves, and could he introduce them today and so on and so forth? No. So, I made a detailed video about it, so I won't go into it in depth now. Feel free to check it out. I explained in detail what he can enact, what Trump cannot enact on his own, and what he needs the Senate for. And the whole thing will accordingly take time. And honestly, I can't imagine it for the life of me, even if he were to stand somewhere today and say again, yes, we're now creating crypto reserves. And these and those and those and those assets are included. That doesn't mean it can be implemented that way. Sure, Charles would thank us all for it. However, also, just as likely, and in the long term as we experienced on Sunday. Let's move on to the next point, this zero tax regulation. I've read about this repeatedly. So be it, one could make tax changes for the individual investor or possibly also what was announced for US-based crypto projects that simply don't pay taxes. Could he just enforce that like that? Well, I've done a bit of reading on that. It's definitely not possible via executive order. A president does not have the authority to enact tax changes in the USA in any form. For that, you need Congress, the House of Representatives, and the Senate. So all in all, sure, he can initiate certain things with an executive order, but he definitely cannot just stand up today and say, yes, we're overturning everything now. Of course, he can exert a certain amount of pressure, and we know him. He also likes to write things on social media. But as I said, it's far from being decided just because he might want to move something today in some way. So let's summarize at this point. The topic is very, very heated today. It is indeed dangerous. So for trading, it's interesting, but this is also the moment between a massive pump or a dump in the opposite direction because the expectations are not met. And people are hoping for much more than what is actually realistic and what could happen. Today, it's all just like this speculation about which token might possibly make the biggest jumps. So we must not forget at this point, of course, we also saw it on Sunday. Atom quickly went up by 60%. But where is it now? So that's just all very, very short term when viewed. However, what I have found now, maybe you remember I once made a video about Alephium. It could potentially be an alternative to Casper. In my opinion, yes. Still significantly smaller. It naturally comes with more risk, but it could be exciting. And currently, something very interesting is happening on this blockchain. And it's about MyOnion. Now, some might think, well, wait a minute, is this somehow like Pump or something? Yes, it goes in the same direction. It's comparable, however. And I also think that this is precisely the backlash that Solana experienced. Because a lot of shady dealings happened with Pump. This is solved quite cleverly here. That's why I want to briefly show you the platform, because logically, Alephium has now also understood if, now of course, naturally, there's more movement here on this blockchain, for example, through memes, just like it worked with Solana. This blockchain could certainly gain in attractiveness. There are already some significant differences to Pump here. For example, the creator has the opportunity to buy tokens before the token is live. So he doesn't run the risk of any sniper getting in his way. And then the dev team can buy afterwards. Additionally, there is an integrated DEX on this platform. But there are also certain rules about when a token lands on this DEX and when it doesn't. By the way, creating a token is quite simple. So you click on Make Token down here, then you can upload the image here. Then enter the name, symbol, a short description, Twitter, Team Discord, and save. And ready. The thing is created. So that's also the reason why there are so many tokens now, of course, because you can basically create your own meme coins in 30 seconds. Unlike Pump, MyOnion also has its own token. I personally think it's cool. Pump collects all the fees generated on the platform itself. With MyOnion, it's a bit different because 40% of the fees go into the buyback for the token. This gives you the added value that this token, as long as the platform is used, is indeed set up to be deflationary. There is also a point system where you can participate in the fees. This means you have so-called XP points that you can collect. But there is another way you can participate in the fees, and that is through so-called XP points. You collect them, so for each traded ALF, you get 1 point. When you have reached 50,000 XP points, logically, this is achieved. Through buying and selling, you receive a free NFT. And with this NFT, you are involved with 10% in the total fees. Now, before every holder starts to protest here. No, so this logically means you have these 10% that are on all NFT holders. So the earlier, the more share you will have. Of course, because there are still fewer NFT holders, it will be distributed accordingly. Like with Pump Fund, there is also a trading curve. I'll show you this very briefly here. And you can see it here. So you have the status here, sort of with the trading curve, and it goes upwards here. This means each meme has 1 billion tokens. in the total supply. 800 million, they are distributed over this trading curve and start with a market cap of 1,000. So that's currently $500. Logically, if the price doubles, it's double, hard to calculate. The more it is sold, the higher. The price rises also logically. The DEX listing, and you will see it here when this bar is through. This starts again with a market cap of 20,000 ALF. And then simultaneously the 200 million tokens, because if you just calculated there is 1,800,000,000 go into this trading curve, they are then burned together with 4,900 ALF in the liquidity. And then the status changes here again, so it will then say DEX. And then you can see exactly which token is already on the DEX, which logically also has a larger trading volume and which does not. Basically, there is always the possibility, regardless of the state, that you can trade this part here. What I personally find pretty cool, because we've experienced all along that there were a lot of rug pulls, there was a lot of scam on pump fun. Also on the go, it has greatly damaged Solana's reputation. If you can mitigate that a bit, of course, you will never be able to avoid it 100%. That's clear. Nevertheless, a memecoin creator will also be involved with 0.15% of the DEX fees. So that means anyone who can think long-term and build something substantial can achieve long-term returns. So, if you're interested in the topic, feel free to check out the description. I've included the link there as well. As I said, take a look at the whole thing. Alephium as a blockchain. As such, I personally find it quite exciting. I've already presented it in detail. I'm also invested in it myself, so I want to be open and transparent with you. I don't want to say you must get involved because, of course, I would benefit from it too. However, I can imagine that such a chain, even when you look at it in the current bull run, has had quite a decent performance. These are precisely the kind of small projects that seemingly no one is paying attention to right now. It might be an insider tip or it might not be. We will know in the future. Before we get to the trading setup, just briefly, next Blockchain Expo, it's not far off, 19th and 20th March. I will also be there myself. And if you're interested, by the way, it's the 5th time I'll be there. I will also be giving a keynote. If you're interested in networking, exchanging ideas with people, etc. And maybe also for a free ticket, then feel free to leave a comment down here and I'll throw one out right away. And it would, of course, be cool if we could meet in person on site. And now directly onto the trading setup. Personally, I use BingX, as I already shared yesterday in the group, or rather in this account that I manage for someone else, but I show you completely transparently whether it's in the plus or minus. You can see there's still a minus here. But I do believe that it can turn into a plus today. Let's wait and see what the news is. I've also set certain thresholds where I say I'll take my profit. I'll show you that in a moment. In any case, anyone who participated should definitely have 1 or 2 positions open here. I've placed a few limit orders further down. But if you're generally asking why BingX, yes, if you're interested in trading without KYC, you have the exclusive opportunity to get the deal with my link. I've negotiated that for you, and also if you deposit something which generally makes sense for trading, if it's $100, you'll get $25 credited to your futures account, and if it's $500, you'll get $80 credited. We're going to take a quick look at the Bitcoin heat map now, and it's definitely worth noting that it's glowing quite strongly up here. So that's also the area where I've set my take profit, logically. The news will decide now, but the market makers can also beautifully mix in here. And it's conceivable that this high here might be tested again, and then it briefly dips in again. And then, depending on the news, it could also continue downward. Or, of course, the phenomenal breakthrough happens today, and we really shoot through the roof. We'll see about that. With Ethereum, it is becoming quite interesting now because, as you can see, even this dip that briefly occurred was immediately bought up again. But beautifully, the liquidity was also picked up here. But there's something down here again. So it might be interesting for compounding to say, perhaps place a limit order here again if this zone is really targeted once more. Because if we look at another time interval now, you can see again that there's quite a bit up here. So, as I said, that's also my assumption. Of course, it depends on Bitcoin again now. So you see how it all plays together. If Bitcoin should make a nice pump upwards again, then we can expect that as well. Certainly expect it with Ethereum and XRP. Who would have guessed? Right. I just want to catch you up here at this point. You can see it here everywhere this exact correction was present. And up here too, it's now flashing wildly. Why? Because here again, many are heavily over-leveraged. Short positions have been entered. And now, of course, they all want to be picked up again by the market makers. A quick look at Bitcoin again. Finally, here in the daily view. So you see, yes, unfortunately, we haven't managed to break through beyond this zone yet. And for me, that's the critical value. So let's say around 95, 96,000. It becomes important, it becomes interesting for us to sustainably get above that, because then we will have finally broken through this downtrend here, and hopefully it will then continue nicely upwards. That's it for today. I am very curious. Feel free to write in the comments, what is your opinion? What will happen at the summit today? Will we see the big pump? Will we see nothing at all? Will we see a correction? I am very curious, and otherwise, if you liked the video and want to support my work, feel free to leave a free like. And otherwise, I can give you the tip to check out this video. I have a crazy prediction, but if it comes true, it will rain profit. What I'm talking about, what exactly I have planned with Bitcoin, what else I could imagine happening, you'll find out in this video. We'll see each other tomorrow in the next update. Until then, all the best. Bye.